What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Rising Sun Podcast. I'm Dean Howell. Listen, guys, we're blessed today to have Erica Keels in the podcast. I think you guys are really going to love this conversation. First of all, she's a badass. She is everything that you see in the episode description in the bio. Just an amazing woman, an amazing human, an amazing Navy chief. And, we've been friends for a long time since Hawaii, and I'm super excited to give her a platform to tell her story and kind of get her message out there. Had a great conversation about, all the things that we talk about here on the Rising Sun podcast: life, family, overcoming challenges, dreams, aspirations, what's next, what are we going to do with our lives. And, I just think you guys are going to really enjoy this episode. As a reminder, the views expressed in this podcast are those of the speakers alone and do not represent the views of the Department of Defense, United States Navy, any of those folks. So, all right, disclaimer out of the way. Also, we didn't talk about anything crazy, but I just want to make sure I get that disclaimer out there. Hey, and last thing, man, support the friends, man. Support the supporters of the podcast. So, Prize Crew Coffee Company. It's my homeboy that runs it. And he's making the best coffee out there, man. I drink it every day. You can get beans, you can get grounds. I mean, Molly's Dark and Stormy blend. They do a bourbon barrel aged coffee. They do white coffee. Just a fantastic company, and really just like the best product that's out there. I know everybody's selling coffee these days, man, but Prize Crew is where it's at, man. So check them out, and if you do go there, then use code SAIL. That's SAIL. Use code SAIL at checkout for 10% off. And of course, it's a veteran owned and operated company, so you're supporting your veterans when you check out Prize Crew Coffee. So anyways, guys, thanks for listening to that, about partners of the podcast and the brief introduction to Erica. But I think you guys are going to really love it. Please check this out on YouTube or Spotify on the visual version because, let's be real about it. Erica's fucking hot, man. So, all right, man. Take care and enjoy the podcast. And without further ado, Erica fucking Keels. Man, I'm super good. Still in Japan forever, But I'm like formulating a plan to get back to Texas at some point. It's like a 4 to 5 year plan. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, man, like for now, just kind of doing the thing, man, just running a podcast and, doing the CMC gig. Right.
I love seeing when sailors have something different that they do. It's not just like, I'm a sailor, this is my life. And really cool, interesting things as well, like running a podcast or having your own business on the side, or, just like, it's really cool to see sailors outside uniform doing really cool shit.
Dude, I agree, man. I mean, I don't think I've ever told you this, but our experience together in Hawaii and like seeing you kind of go into the fitness competition world and, NPC, competitions, like it was a big inspiration for me. It took a few years to really like settle in and make sense. But like seeing you, like you said, being able to be a sailor, but also like, hey man, like I'm a sailor and I love the Navy and I'm a war fighter.
Yeah.
But I also am a human and I have interests, and like seeing you do that when we were in Hawaii together, like it was a big inspiration for me to like, you know what, man, just take the leap. Like you don't have to wait till you retire. Like if you do, you're going to be fucking dead. Right. So just like go, you know what I mean? So yeah, man. So I appreciate that.
Well, thank you for saying that. Being a chief, people put all these like expectations on you, and say, oh, oh, you're a CMC and you run a podcast. You're a CMC and you cuss on your podcast. I don't know if people have said that to you, but I'm sure there's some people out there somewhere that might think that. Or you're a female chief and you're a bodybuilder. You're in a bikini on stage. Junior sailors are probably looking at you thinking dirty thoughts. People are going to think what they're going to think regardless of what I'm wearing. My purpose is not to, make people think dirty thoughts. My goal is to empower other people and spread the word and help other people be more fit and healthy and lead a better life. So, I love it. I think it's so cool. So thank you for saying that, because I think it's pretty cool that you're doing a podcast and you get to talk to so many cool people. And I was listening to some of your podcasts and had my daughter listening to them on a road trip, and just like hearing other people's stories. It's so cool. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's fun, man. So hey, let's go here, Erica. So I guess I'll tell the audience how we know each other first of all. So we were chiefs together in Hawaii. I was on the region staff. You were at were you at REALSO or DSO at that point?
I was at the DSO.
You were at the DSO, right? So Defense Service. What is it?
Defense Service Office.
Defense Service Office. So basically, like, if you've ever seen Men of Honor, DSO is like you're defending
right
people that are alleged to have done whatever they are alleged to have done.
Yeah, and, I'm Tom Cruise.
That's right. You're the Tom Cruise of, in Hawaii, you're the Tom Cruise, right? So we met there because we're both chiefs. We're in the mess. We're running seasons together. And that chiefs mess in Hawaii was very tight knit, especially around joint base, region, joint base, packed fleet. Like, we were all very tight knit when it came to, especially like initiation stuff. And so that's kind of how we met, right? By the way, thanks for doing this, man. Like, have you ever been on a podcast before?
No.
What?
No, so I'm probably going to be super awkward. Yeah. It's just two friends talking, so we're just FaceTiming. So that's how I'm going to take it. It's just going to be on the internet forever. Yeah. That's all.
Yeah, it's there forever. But so is pretty much anything you do these days. So whatever, fuck it, right? But so that's how we met. And so, like, I know you from that perspective, but what I don't know is like the Erica Keels kind of like origin story, right? Like, where are you from? How'd you grow up? Do you have siblings, parents, like high school experience? Did you play sports? Like what's the Erica Keels like origin story, man?
All right. Once upon a time. So I grew up in South Florida, a little town called Palmetto. And I guess we can rewind a little bit. Like, so Layla, my dog, wants to be part of this too.
That's okay. Jump in there, Layla.
So my mom, I have an older sister. My mom had me and my sister from the same father. And I was born in Nashville, Tennessee. And we moved to Florida when I was 5. And my mom met my stepdad. And I didn't really know my bio dad. And so my stepdad and my mom got married when I was 8, and he filled that role, and I call him dad. And they had my younger sister when I was 12. And so I'm a little bit closer to my younger sister over the years than I was my older sister. I was stationed in Florida. I'm jumping around. I'm getting really off track, but my older sister Star joined the Navy in 1999, and I did not know what I wanted to do with my life. And so I was like, well, if Star can do it, I can do it. Cause I like to be better than Star. So she joined as a hospital corpsman. And as everyone knows, it's pretty tough to make rank as a corpsman. And so I joined as an undesignated seaman or airman. Okay, Lily, take Layla. I cannot think.
Like, I can't with you right now, dog.
Okay, thank you. I joined as an undesignated.
I don't think I've ever met Lily. Can I say hi to Lily?
Lily, come over here and say hi to Dean. She's going to join the Navy. She's actually talking with recruiters right now.
Okay. So, hey, Lily. I've seen you all over social, and like you've grown up a lot over the years. Let's just put it that way,
I look like a mess right now, but yeah.
Yeah, it's all good, man. Nice to see you.
Nice to meet you.
All right, you bet.
So so I, and I was in aviation for 10 years. Met her dad. We got married super young. I was 19. We knew each other for 4 months. The normal junior sailor stuff, right?
Yep.
We knew each other for 4 months, and everyone said, my chiefs and everybody was like, "Don't marry him." And I was like, "We're like so in love. Like you can't tell me anything." Um, and we got married, and he deployed, and I got pregnant with Lily like a month after we got married. The normal junior sailor stuff.
Yep.
And so when I tell junior sailors, like, listen, I didn't come in the Navy as a chief. I was you.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's kind of me, where I grew up. And
Yeah.
my dad's a preacher. Grew up very, very strict household.
Yeah.
I'm probably the rebellious one out of everyone. Um,
I know a
they
little something about it. Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, very strict. I'm very thankful for it though, because it taught me a lot of discipline at a young age,
Hmm.
and doing the right thing at the right time with the right attitude. Kind of transferring into the military, being in the right place at the right time in the right uniform with the right
Right.
attitude. I
Right.
think that having the strict structure of my household, that
Yeah.
really. So when I got yelled at in boot camp, or when I would when people would get onto me, um, it hurt. I was like, oh, I disappointed them. I want to do a good job. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. So South Florida, like South Florida, like down by Miami, South Florida, like down there.
about 45 minutes south of Tampa.
Okay, got it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. And so came up in a very strict Christian household, right? Yeah.
Yes.
And so literally the preacher's daughter.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, got it. And then and so like coming up, like what kind of stuff did you do? Did you do athletics? Did you do like, this is gonna sound funny, but like, you were born probably what, like 80 something or nine? I don't even know.
83. I know I
83,
look like
okay.
I was born in 89, 90s, but
I mean, dude, I thought
no
you were
one like
way
the same
younger than me.
gene.
I'll
Well,
be
no.
honest. I thought you were a lot younger than me than you are.
um, I was born in 83. Yeah. So,
Okay.
let's see, growing up, I was a baton twirler.
Okay.
Um,
Yep, yep, yep. That figures. That
you know,
figures.
uh, and then I was like, this is kind of lame. I don't want to wear these leotards anymore. So I remember I went to school one year, and I wore my baton uniform for school pictures, because I didn't know we were going to get baton pictures, and I wanted to have a picture in my uniform. And then in the class photo, remember back in the day, we used to do class photos in
Yeah.
elementary school. I looked like such a dork. Um, like everyone's wearing their outfits, and I'm just like in this baton costume. Um, what a dweeb. Anyway, and then I did gymnastics for a very short period of time,
Hmm.
and then I did cheerleading. In
Okay.
high school, I was in ROTC.
Okay.
I was in orchestra. I first chair, first violin. I love playing the violin.
Oh, wow.
Um,
No shit. Okay.
just like all over the place.
Yeah.
Just kind of with my ADHD. If the idea pops in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
And so I kind of just did everything.
Nice, man. And so eventually found your way to the Navy, and like, did you join like fresh out of high school? You were in ROTC, so
I joined. I was supposed to leave July 31st of 2001. We were in boot camp at the same time. I remember this conversation. I don't remember what division you were in,
right.
but we were
Yeah, I
in
was
boot
in
camp.
like, I think I was in 351.
I was in 383.
Yeah. So you
So
must have passed in review end of September.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was
So
like,
you
that
were
is
there.
so
You were in
cool.
boot camp during 9/11, like I was.
Yep. I was on week 6.
Right.
Yeah, week 6.
That's right. We've talked about this before because I
Hmm.
I passed in review like September 14th of 2001. So like we took buses to all of our A schools. Like I remember, I've talked about this on several other episodes, but I remember fucking goddamn ATCS Morrison was our RT, he's our RDC, and he was a fucking asshole, and he smoked like a pack a day probably. I never saw him at PT once, and I just remember, man, like we're getting on the bus to drive all the way to Meridian, Mississippi, right? And because that's where PNA school was. And I'm getting on the bus. I'm the last one on the bus because he had like put me in charge. He's like, "All right, you're in charge, Hal." I was like, "Oh, yeah, whatever, dude." And he shook my hand. He's like, "Stay motivated, Hal. Stay motivated. You'll make Mass Chief." That was like his like endearing words to me. Like not like, hey man, great job or any of that shit. He was like, stay motivated, Hal. Stay motivated. You'll make Master Chief. Like get on the fucking bus. All right. It's like, all right, dude. you know. But yeah, so you came in undev's airman, right? And then did you work your way up through ABH?
I was an
What was your
AZ.
rating?
I was an
AZ?
AZ, Aviation Maintenance Administration.
Oh,
So
okay.
I got to my first duty station, Mayport, Florida. It was HSL 40, but now
Nice.
HSM 40. Um, and it was cold. November 7th, 2001. It was cold outside. And being from like more southern Florida, I wasn't used to that. And I was like, what are all those people doing outside? Because when I watched the videos as a recruiter, you know, that the the plane captains, you know, directing the aircraft on the flight line. I was like, I want to do that. They're like, oh, those are ACs. And so you should be an AC. No, they're not.
Yeah.
Liars.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, it's cold outside. What are those people? That's what I want to do. And they're like, oh, they work out in the line shack. Those are the plane captains. I was like, I'm not doing that. I wanted to do that, but it's cold. I don't want to do that. And I
Yeah.
was like, what are those people doing with the computers? And they're like, oh,
Yeah.
those are AZs. And I was like, I want to do that. I want to work with a computer.
Yeah.
It's warm in there.
Yeah.
So I got to my command November 7th. And because I had ROTC in high school, I came in as an E3 and I took the advancement exam in March and I made it. There was a AZ2 down the hall that helped me study. We're still
Mm,
friends to this day. He's a warrant officer.
nice.
Still friends to this day. And I will forever be thankful for him for helping me study for the advancement exam.
Yeah. A lot of people underestimate how hard of a job that is, right? Like, yeah, you sit behind the computer, but like you're responsible for all of those aircraft and like maintenance control does not run without their AZs. Like if the AZs are a soup sandwich, like watch out because something bad's probably going to happen. You know what I mean?
There's so much you have to know in that rating. You have to know CTPL, UMA. You got to know the pubs. You have to know maintenance app. You have to know so many aspects. That test was so hard, which is why I converted to legal men because I could not make AZ1 for the life of me. I took that test so many times, and I had an ABF. So I that HSL 40. I went back to there as my third command when it transferred over to HSM 40,
Mm-hmm.
and we got the new aircraft and I had an ABF senior chief, purple shirts. I love him. He
Fucking
was such a
great.
great leader, taught me how to be a leader, and kind of convinced me as a single mom to cross rate. I was like, no, I'm gonna stay aviation. I don't want to jump ship. And he was like, no, you're a single mom. You need a job that's going to, you know, relate to the civilian sector if you decide to get out one day. And so we had an AZ at the squadron. She is now in my she's at Navy region in Japan, but she is in my region. She was at my command.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's lieutenant commander now, but she was an LN2 at the time, and she helped me convert. It's a small world. I love how the pieces, like the puzzle pieces, connect back to
It's
each other.
so much fun, man.
But I love being a legal man, so much more than being an AZ. It's so rewarding being able to help people. So I love it.
Yeah. A lot of people don't really understand how hard of a conversion that is, though. Like the legalman rating is like uber selective with who they allow into the rating, right? And like like I don't know if you still do, but you used to have to submit a photo and like everything. Like
We don't do photos, but we do in-person interviews, and the chief's
right.
mess in that AOR conduct the interviews. And if you're not in the AOR, like if we do video like we're doing right
Mm-hmm.
now.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in Hawaii and my headquarters is in Yokosuka, they would jump on the line for the Hawaii sailors converting, and I would jump on the line for the Yokosuka sailors converting. So,
Yeah.
although it's not a photo, we do take into account your military bearing and
Sure.
how you wear your uniform
Sure.
during the selection process.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I you'll probably have a different perspective on this because you're in the LN rating, but like from the outside looking in, like I'd be hard pressed, not even hard pressed. Like I wouldn't be able to name like a shitbag legalman. You know what I'm saying? Like I know they're out there, but I don't know any of them. Right?
That's why it's super hard for promotion. Once you get to the chief rank, making chief, making senior chief, making mass chief, it's pretty tight because legal men, because our selection into our rating is very, very thin, and it's pretty difficult. Making it past, and promoting chief, senior chief, master chief, it's pretty
Yeah.
difficult too. So you got to be shit hot.
Yeah. Yeah. Nikki and I had a long conversation about that very topic recently. Now,
She's my
I'll
mentor.
leave it at that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
pretty tough. She
Yeah.
she's she's really great too.
Yeah. I love her, man. I see her around base, and like, it's funny because like, she's probably like a full like 6'3". Like, she makes me feel small. She's looking great, by the way. I don't know if how like, if you talked to her recently, like, she's looking really good, man. She's taking care of herself. Like, she looks really,
Mhm.
really fantastic right now. So, anyways, shout out Nikki. Shout out Nikki. You look good,
We love
girl.
you. I actually have a mentor meeting with her right after this.
Yeah, good, good, man. Um, so how long did the marriage last? 'Cause I've never asked you about this.
4 years.
Okay.